Welcome guys to another video feature of a South African living abroad. In today's video we're going to be talking about all things money on the JET program. So I'm going to discuss firstly the startup costs on the JET program, my monthly expenses, and last but not least how much I'm saving every month into my South African account. So let's start off with our startup costs. My supervisor at my school got a hold of me before I arrived in Japan. We had 2 Zoom calls, and he told me that my startup cost would need to be 300,000 yen. Now 300,000 yen is 37,500 rand. And the Embassy of South Africa in our pre-departure pack told us we should budget for about 20,000 rand, which is 160,000 yen. My suggestion to you is please try and budget for 25 to 30,000 rand, depending on where you're coming from. If you stay in Inaka and you're going to need a car, that budget could be even up to 44,000 rand or even 50,000 rand that you need as your startup costs in coming to Japan. The city that I'm in, Toyama, is a combination of an Inaka and a major city, so it's in the middle. And my initial startup cost was 300,000 rand. I told my supervisor I don't have that money, and he made arrangements to find me a place that was less expensive. So my initial startup cost changed from 300,000 yen to 170,000 yen. So I had 160,000 yen that I brought from South Africa. If you're American, my suggestion is, if you come to Inaka, prepare to come with 3,000 US dollars, about 60,000 rand, for you to be comfortable, because you'll need to buy a car with your money also. Now that is my startup costs. What I did, because I made an arrangement with my school, I paid my supervisor 80,000 yen, which is 10,000 rand upon arrival, and then I made an arrangement so that in subsequent months from my salary, they will deduct the amount of money that I need to give to my supervisor until I had paid him off the remaining 120,000 yen that I owed him. So what were my initial expenses when I arrived in Japan? The school was great, and fortunately they got me a futon, they got me a fridge, they also lent me a laundry machine, so I didn't have to do my laundry outside. But I did need to get a bicycle. The school that I work at is about walking 35 minutes away from school, but a bicycle, that trip cuts it to about 15 minutes. So I bought a bicycle. The bicycle I bought was for 24,000 yen, which is about 3,000 rand. Then I also bought a Canon video camera for 24,000 yen also, which is another 3,000 rand. And the other thing I bought was a Panasonic and Sony camera, which was 16,000 yen, which is 2,000 rand for content creation. So those were my initial expenses that I needed to buy when I got to Japan. And because I came in spring, it was quite hot, so I didn't need a bed immediately. But when it came to winter, sleeping on the floor is going to be a problem. So I bought myself a bed at Nitori, and the bed cost was 24,000 yen. So that was another 3,000 yen that I spent later on in winter to sleep. Now, on average, in a first year jet, your gross salary is 280,000 yen, but your net salary is 230,000 yen. So that's plus minus about 2,000 US dollars, and it is about 34,000 rand that you have to estimate for. What happens is, but your take home will usually be 28,000 rand, because you need to pay tax and you also need to pay pension. Your pension is 23,000 yen a month, so it's about 3,000 rand for pension that goes out of your salary before it even comes in. But later on in the JET program, after you complete the program, you can get some of your 80% of your pension back. So one of my expenses on the JET program, as I mentioned before, my rent is 45,900 yen, which is about 6,000 rand for rent every month that I need to pay. And then I need to pay for gas, I need to pay for electricity, and I need to pay for water. All those three estimates equal to about 5,000 for water, 5,000 for gas, and 5,000 for electricity, depending on the month. The electricity bill might increase in winter to about 10,000 yen, but generally in a good month it's 5,000 yen, 5,000 for water, and 5,000 for gas altogether. Now those are my expenses. Then I'll have about 2,000 yen for my cell phone bill, and another, it will be cell phone bill, and then also my medical aid will have a deduction of about 12,000 yen, if I'm not mistaken. Then, what am I saving on JET? So, in my first year, I used to go out quite often. We'd go every night, on the weekend, go drinking, go to bars, go to different places, and that cost about 1,000 rand, which is about 7,500 yen per month on going out, food, drinks, meeting friends, in Toyama. This year I'm a bit more conservative. I'm focused on content creation and cooking at home, so I don't have to spend as much. Another expense that I had was on food, so be willing to prepare on between 6,000 yen and 7,000 yen a week on food. So I'm crossing 24,000 yen on food, which is about 3,000 rand a month on food. That's what I'm spending. So going back to how much I'm saving on the JET program, last year I was sending around 80,000 yen home on a good month. On a bad month, it was between 40,000 and 60,000 yen. 40,000 yen is 5,000 rand. 60,000 yen is 7,500. 80,000 yen is 10,000 rand. So that's what I was sending home. This year, with the 25,000 yen increase on our salary, I'm looking to send on a very good month, on an extremely good month, 120,000 yen, which is 15,000 rand back to South Africa. On a very bad month, you're looking between 80 and 100,000 yen. 80,000 yen being 10,000 and 100,000 yen being 12,500. If you really like this video, please look to subscribe as I talk to you about all things JET and Japan and a South African living abroad. Enjoy!